First up, table the minutes for December 11th as Judy needs to review them. And we'll vote on those next meeting. First up is bridge project.
All right, so I've never done this in front of anybody. Am I just sharing what I do or sharing what I ask for? Am I answering questions?
You're gonna share what you're asking for and tell us a little bit about what it's gonna go for our community.
Okay. So we all, everybody knows what the bridge project is here, but so we're going into our 8th year. And when we first started out, I believe we were asking for 1,000. And in the past years, it was 2,000, 2,500. And this year we had, well, last year, I think we asked for 5,000, but this year we've jumped up to 7,500. And the reason being is we are growing. We are growing in all avenues for our community. And I'm looking to, I have a full-time assistant that's helping me, and another project that has had, well, definitely because of the homelessness and things that, like the housing situation that's happened in our community has like tripled my caseload of people that I'm working with. I love what we're able to do. I'm able to connect to any type of resource. I wrap those people, whoever we're working with from the community, around with resources and pretty much able to help them get other money from other places a lot of the times. So I feel like, you know, we've been able to save our community, the town money, but we're still growing. It's not getting slower. And I mean, just alone last year with that big fire, you know, that was 10 people displaced. And yes, that was Lincoln properties, but it ended up affecting Woodstock as well. So all those peoples I was able to place right in the community. And with everybody out there wanting to help, we were able to be the hub, the bridge project. And along with the Mountain Area Community Fund, we raised over $90,000 for that. And with that, we were able, because those people were paying like $500 a month for rent for years. It had never gone up. That's what they paid. So and you cannot find a place around here anymore under $1,000. So with being the bridge project and being that hub, I had people reaching out to me who wanted to help, who said, I'll put an addition on my place to be able to help this person out. As long as they're working through you, as long as we know that where the money's going. And with that, we were able to pay for all those 10 people's rents for a whole year. So they can be subsidized. And I think there's going to be some money left over as well that we'll be able to help out a little bit next year. But it's just, I mean, that's just one piece of it. You know, I mean, I'm in every part, I feel like, when I say I mean the bridge project itself, but every part of the community, whoever needs help. Recovery is huge in our community. So to be able to just continue to keep being there for people in recovery, again, that want the help, you know. But yeah, I just feel like it's just, when we first started, I was like, okay, well, where's this going? Where, you know, and along, but the mentor programs, the after-school mentor program, we really got going last year. Well, I'm looking to hire another like full-time person to run that program because it's just huge. Being able to, for me, my goal is to reach as many young ones as we can and start giving them the, you know, positive attitudes, the behaviors, the resources that they need at a young age. So they don't have to do the repeat things.
What age group is the after school
5th
program?
grade and up.
So, okay, so it's the grades that aren't necessarily covered by after school programs
Yes.
through the K, correct?
And so some of those are, and the kids that we see, so I think there's 1 year that they can be, so like the following year. Yeah, that's where, but some of them either I know that there's financial help for that. It's something where there might be 4 kids. And that financial help is still a lot. Or sometimes it's on the other end, it's a parent that's not willing to, I don't mean to say not willing, not capable of getting them to and from. So us being able to help that and be there for those other kids. And like some of the kids that are not into sports, or some of the kids that are not surrounded. I mean, it's open for everybody, which is amazing, but
And how many days a week is that?
it's 1 day a week right now. That's what we've had. My
Yep.
goal this year would be to open it up more, but we get anywhere, I mean, it could be 4 kids to 13 kids a week. Depending on sports and other things that go on.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions for Tracy?
Do you track, Tracy, the amount of Lincoln Woodstock breakdown, like of the?
Of
two-
what we have here, you know what, I don't think I have. It's just pretty much been Linwood, that's how I've done it with, when working with the kids, but I have my assistant now, we've made up new data sheets and everything. So we're trying to really get into that age group and, Woodstock or Lincoln. So I can do that, that's,
I think that might be helpful. I mean, on your form here, under section 9, it said that in Woodstock,
oh, okay.
last year there were 12, this year there's 22, 0 to 5. Is that just Woodstock? And
I
that's,
don't think
well,
that's
that's
right.
what the question says.
It does, but, it's both of them.
Where are we at? What page?
It's right there
Section 9, so it's the-
on the application.
When you do the breakout of the
Yeah.
ages. Yeah.
I think, because we asked that last year, and you said that you put both Lincoln and Woodstock in there.
Yes,
Mm.
yeah.
Okay.
And when you're looking at these numbers here, I mean, this is why it's different, because we help out in so many areas. You're looking at the coat drive, you're looking at the backpack drive, you're looking at the after-school program, this isn't just one program. These are helping the kids in all different areas.
the combination.
Our peer-to-peer support group, the after-school program, the girls mentor program, boys mentor program,
So it's any touch thing.
any touch, yeah.
You talked about your help with addiction and recovery and all of that. Do you have weekly meetings that help those individuals?
Yep. Tuesdays I have a, local all women's, it has been all recovery for men and women, mostly now it's women. I have like 10 women a week that show up every week, that are local in our community. It's a private, it goes around the back, so people don't.
Yep.
It's amazing, yeah. And, the amazing part of that, again, like just being able to do what we do, couple of people that were in the fire, they were, they needed help. They are now in recovery, they are, you know, sober, like, it's amazing, you know, just,
Success stories.
yeah.
Do you have numbers for like welfare, Woodstock versus Lincoln? Like,
I don't, that would be a good thing to put on a,
just to see, you know, how many,
yeah. No, I don't have it broken down like that, like for
No, we just had a
Medicaid or anything like that. No, but that would be good. I mean, I would love to be able to sit down and if you get ideas like that, I can make it right into my data sheet. Cause that's what
Like
every
going hand in
person that
hand
tries to
with
come
what
in,
you're-
we're trying to just get in data, you know?
And the people you help are only Lincoln Woodstock people?
Yes and no, like somebody might know, but that's who we're open to.
Yeah.
You know,
But if somebody shows up, I'm from Plymouth, but I need help, you
Well,
don't turn them away.
then it's not just turn away, it's right, it's sending them to the right
Guiding them
place
towards
of,
where they
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Any other questions for Tracy? Thank you, Tracy, for
Yep.
coming.
Thanks for your time today.
And Judy, you said Tri-County Cap's not coming?
they are not, they'll be available by phone, so if you guys feel like you would like to talk to them, I can call, but I figured we would do that at the end of the meeting.
Okay.
If that's something you'd like to do.
Go to CASA. Is anyone here from CASA? Hi.
Hello. My name's Tara Bergeron. I'm a development associate with CASA, court-appointed special advocates. We provide volunteer advocacy to abused, neglected children. We serve any child in the state birth to 21, but we are appointed by the court, so we have to be, the case has to be identified as an abuse or neglect case before CASA is given that case file. we do, I know, on my application, when I sent it to you, it says under the number of residents, you know, great big number down there, 1,500. That's not all from Woodstock. That is statewide, and due to confidentiality, we try to keep it, as generic as possible so that we're not identifying families, especially in small towns. Just because these kids are going through a lot, and we don't want any preconceived notions if they're out and about and you see them. So I will say though, I didn't ask for funding just for fun. We do have cases here in Woodstock that the $500 that we're requesting would be going towards the children that are in your town, using your town services. And hopefully, we can also gain some additional advocates to serve children because the cases keep coming in. They are lasting longer and they are more intensive than we've seen in the past few years. This started in fiscal year 23. The numbers started going up, the intensity started going up. So our advocates who would normally take maybe 2 or 3 cases at a time are now just taking 1 or 2 so that they can focus on the kids that they do have. Because a case could have 1 kid in 1 town, a case could have 7 kids, but it's 1 advocate per case. So if they're more intense, the advocates really want to focus on those kids. And so we're requesting the funding to support the ones we do have and help us get more so that we don't have to turn anybody away.
Is that what the refused children is?
Yes.
That you can't refuse?
Yeah,
Well,
so
turn them
in the
away.
state of New Hampshire, it's mandated that the children have an advocate. We are the only nonprofit in the state that does the work, so we are the first phone call. If we don't have an advocate trained and available when that phone call comes in, we have to give it back to the state. And the state then provides a paid guardian ad litem. And the difference is, you know, if you think, you know, DCYF has dozens of kids on their caseload, the paid guardians ad litem do also. So while our CASAs meet with the children every month like clockwork, the paid guardians ad litem only have to meet the child once a year. They try with all their might to do more, but that's what they're required because they might have 30 or 40 kids on their case and they can't get to everywhere every month. So our CASAs take less cases so they can really advocate for that child's best interest because they're really getting to know the child.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming up.
Next up, Grafton County Seniors.
Hi everyone, I'm gonna stand so I can see everyone. I'm Kathleen Gonzalez, I'm the executive director of the organization, and this is Maria McIntyre, who manages the Linwood Area Senior Services. So we are requesting $6,500 from the town of Woodstock, and that is for services that we provide specifically for Woodstock residents. We have 8 senior centers, and the one that Maria runs serves both Lincoln and Woodstock, but our request is only about Woodstock residents. So we provide programs and services that support the health, dignity, and independence of older adults and adults with disabilities. We provide services such as Meals on Wheels. We have activities and meals at the senior center. We have a bus that provides transportation to medical appointments and other essential destinations. Last year, 213 older adults from Woodstock, and that's 93% of older adults from Woodstock, received services from our agency. 20 Woodstock residents were assisted by our Service Link program, and our cost to provide these programs and services for residents of your town was $137,620. And so we're asking for $6,500, which is 5% of that cost. We have increased our request $500 over last year. And in the past year, we've served 29 more people. We have provided 2,274 more meals, a 33% increase in meals just for Woodstock residents, and a 54% increase in activities. So about a $32,000 increase cost on our end, so that's a $500 increases relative to that. I just want to thank you all for the opportunity to present this information and for the town's involvement. So we had 343 volunteer hours for Woodstock residents. So we really couldn't do what we do without volunteers in the community that help us. Do you want to add anything from the senior center perspective?
That was great.
Thank you.
Just to name some specific activities that we do that the seniors love, Zumba, bone builders. We have crafts that we did. I'm most particularly proud of our wreath making this year. A lot of people joined in and it really was a hit. I liked that the volunteers were mentioned because it does provide a lot of the seniors who don't want a paycheck. They want to go and help and interact with everybody, and we have a lot of those, and that's really exciting to me. It inspires me as well. So we have paid folks that come, and we also have another group come in. It's called Able. They come in. They get a stipend for coming in and helping. So we have all kinds of different types of ideas on how to get that cost effective in there, effectiveness in there. And I'm looking forward to 2025. So yeah, thank you. Thanks for letting us come and talk. So
Do you have any questions for us?
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
North Country Center for the Arts.
Well, I am, so if I can figure out where I am. I'm gonna be a poor substitution for Joel. He was just afraid with the snowstorm that snow was supposed to get tonight. He lives in Manchester, that he'd get stuck again, so. But I'm not nearly as colorful or anything like that, but I can speak pretty
You're
much.
pretty colorful.
Yeah, thanks. I speak pretty much for him. I mean, as always, the arts are challenging, never gonna be a moneymaker. About 50% of what we need to live on comes from donations and grants like these. Opera money and a lot of those funds have dried up over the years, over the last year or two, but we're doing okay right now. But we're also expanding our educational program for kids. We're hiring someone starting the middle of the summer to work more with that over the winter. We have the Broadway Bound Camp for kids, where quite a few of the Woodstock kids go in. We also have the Children's Theater in the summertime. This also helps sponsor the Friday night locals night, where we give a discounted ticket to anybody in Lincoln and Woodstock, so they can come at half price. I believe it's half price, and a lot of volunteer help from the community. There's hundreds of hours between, CASA set building and volunteer ushering and box office and all that type of thing. So we did ask for $500 more because from 3,000 to 3,500 because again, a lot of these grants have dried up. We actually have to pay these actors more than $150 a week now. We have to go up to like $350 a week in the summertime now. The Penguin Ski Club is charging us a lot more for rent. So.
You want to speak about what happened this summer? You guys had to kind of close.
Oh yeah, we had to kind of almost close. We didn't close, but we kept on going after the Legionnaires outbreak, but it basically were open, but the theater numbers got cut in half almost. Way more than half. For the busiest, should have been the busiest 3 weeks of the year, so that also hurt. That's another reason why I said the 500. And again, it's an ask, theater's an important part of the community, I think, and it never is gonna make it on its own. So that's my spiel. Questions?
Any questions? Thank you. Next up, North Country Home Health Hospice.
Hi, I'm Ren. I'm from North Country Home Health and Hospice Agency. Thank you for allowing us to speak tonight. As you may or may not know, our service spans over 2,700 miles across Co-op and Grafton County. And we serve a population of 76,000. Anyone is eligible for home health or hospice care. In 2023, from September 2023 to September 2024, we made 946 visits in the Woodstock area. This year, we're asking for the same ask of $2,750, which is what we've asked in the past to help us provide this care. Medicare and Medicaid reimbursements continue to go down, and this helps us not only ensure that we're able to provide care where people are able to heal the best at home, but it also makes sure that all of our staff is able to operate at the very top of their skill set, make sure that we're able to provide those, all of our LNAs, our nurses, our social workers, that valuable education that helps them grow and helps all of our patients have excellent health care. We do ask all of our communities across Grafton and Coos County to contribute to help offset these costs.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Northern Human Services. Okay, Pemi-Baker.
I'm Aubrey Eagle, the Executive Director at Pemi-Baker Hospice and Home Health. We provide home care and hospice services to 32 counties in Grafton and 32 towns in Belknap and Grafton County. During 2023 to 2024, we provided 519 visits. So the $2,500 that we're requesting this year is same as our amount for last year. And that helps us cover visits for patients who are uninsured or underinsured. We do free lab draws, things like that. We'll do free PT, home safety evaluations. It also helps to cover some of our free programs like our bereavement and caregiver support groups, as well as our Pemi-Baker Ask a Nurse that we hold at 4 different senior centers in Grafton County. And also our free foot clinic at the Linwood Senior Center that's open to anyone in the area.
Anyone have any questions? Thank you. Next up, Red Cross. Moving on, Transport Central.
I have 2 documents to pass around. That's okay. Just take one of those. I'll have to start this at the other table. And this is basically the 2023 and the 2024 full rides that we gave. So we give free rides to anyone who's over 60, disabled, or
Okay, 60 as in 60.
what's that?
Yeah.
60.
Yeah.
60.
Right. And as you can see, ultimately our rides that we offered to Woodstock went up a bit. So you're getting a real bargain on this. I'm still asking for $750, but almost double the number of miles that we traveled. I think that's all I have to say. I'm only kidding. So we basically run on grants and town allocations, and we serve 19 towns. Our office is in the whole village in Plymouth, and you know that's the home base, and we generally are able to fulfill any ride that any person that calls for a ride. The only drawback is this is now winter. We lost 4 drivers because they tend to go down south for the winter. And I don't know if I ever tried to recruit someone last year, but if anyone wishes to drive for Transport Central, we desperately need someone up in this area as well. Because we do go to Lincoln, Woodstock, and that's the northern, point. Once we do establish you as a passenger, if you have a doctor's appointment in St. Johnbury, Vermont, we can take you there as well. But the origination has to be within the 19 towns in our catchment area. And our catchment area pretty much parrots, Street Memorial's catchment area.
Just medical appointments?
It's non-emergency medical transportation. We also do Medicaid trips. And we do quite a few trips for recovery. And we generally take passengers down to Franklin for the methadone center down there. We've also gone to Concord as well. But I think that we really actually offer a very good ability for them to get transportation from people that are very willing to try to help and accommodate versus just a cab company. So
I apologize, I didn't hear, you do VA
we do.
transportation as well?
We do, in the past, before me, there was a contract with a VA. That contract has lapsed, but what we do is we have a veterans homeless shelter in Plymouth. So occasionally they'll call us to arrange for trips versus, calling out a VA vehicle. So we help whenever that we can. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Break out your book.
Next up, Voices Against Violence. Looks like that's it for. Is there anyone else here that we haven't had spoken to? No? Okay. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, and safe travels home.
Yeah, thanks for keeping 35 degrees out.
Yeah.
One of the next SEC meetings,
Is there anything else to come before the budget committee meeting today?
Are you guys gonna pass on cap? I mean, it kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
We need to fund it.
Yeah.
I will just call her and tell her that we're not.
I just have one question. I've heard the food pantry is hurting for money
I heard that too.
They are.
and we don't give them anything.
Did they request it?
It usually comes, I think it's always been done by donation. I don't know, that's the first I've heard of it.
I think the Rotary just gave them 5,000.
They did.
Yeah, so I think,
Could something like that come from the welfare budget? Instead, knowing that it's.
I think it falls under this category, health and administration.
It does, even though it's a service, a town service.
These are town services too.
But I mean, isn't it run by the
Our
town?
rec department.
it's run by the
Yeah,
rec
it's run by the
department.
It's run by I think it's the community center.
Tara,
Yeah.
Tara runs it.
Right, but like,
Why didn't they have, this is the first I've heard of it. They've never-
yeah,
Yes,
why
Yes.
wouldn't it be considered like the community center or the Kink Rec? Why wouldn't it be considered under that, where we could take a
Because I
portion
think,
of our?
I think the food pantry back when it was here was always funded by donations.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
been funded by tax.
Always-
dollars.
It's
No,
never
by
been funded by
taxpayer money.
tax dollars.
The town pays the people to work it. The town,
Correct.
Which
like,
we falls in our.
because they work for the rec department.
I think.
But the money for the food comes from,
Rotary businesses.
The Rotary, I think, patched it up for a while.
for a little bit, and when COVID hit, there were a ton of
Exactly.
donations. And we had a surplus of money, so we started adding extra things that we didn't used to offer. And now we've cut back on them because we don't have the money to do it anymore, but they're still getting,
Tara,
basic
Is the
food bank
5,000 gonna
costs.
be enough?
I'm not really sure what the deal is with the money. In May, we had plenty of money.
Are they
And
registered?
then
as
3
a
months
nonprofit?
later, it was like, oh, we don't have any money. So I'm not really sure how that happened.
Who
This was
regulates